Inside this box, I have the Stroup Knives MK2. At least I hope that's how you say it. MK2 is the technical term, and I'm going to assume that stands for Mark. This is an awesome, thin-profiled tactical knife. I see a lot of guys running this on a gun belt, either there or in a placard, like a plate carrier on their chest. Stroup does send it with a great Kydex sheath and a single, I think these are DCC clips. You could get that caught on just about anything, and that clip is not going to pop off accidentally. A really high quality clip is the point of what I'm saying here. I have been looking for a good knife to use when I am hunting in my Bino harness rig. And I saw this at SHOT Show and talked to the Stroup guys about it and was able to work out a deal for a little bit of a review on this and some media in exchange for the knife so that I can take it on a hunting trip to Idaho where I'm hunting black bear, which is next month. Probably by the time you see this video, I will be there. So I wanted a good, more tactical style knife that was not too heavy and not too big to mount onto my Bino harness. So I wanted to shoot this video before I put it on the Bino harness so that I can just show you the way that it would come normally with a clip, the Kydex sheath, and then obviously the knife. The features that I liked about this knife, aside from it being a thin profile and lightweight, is it has a really robust finger stop here. And when I think about using a knife in a defensive situation, especially like out in the wild in the woods where it could be wet and muddy and all sorts of gnarly, the finger stop really, to me, was a selling point for this style of knife to use for that situation. I want to be able to just jam my finger in there and pull. And the last knife that I had on my Bino harness, while I really liked it as a knife, the handle did not have anything for my finger to just snag on. And when it was wet, it would actually be harder to get the knife out of there. You know, sometimes I would just play around with it when I was bored in my tree saddle hunting stuff, right? And when my hands were wet, it was notably more challenging to pull the knife out of the sheath and use it. So I do have small hands, but this has a nice, like not girthy, but long handle. So it's got more real estate than I need there. I can get a really good grip on it though, despite my hands being small. And I feel like probably like somebody even with decently large hands would have no problem wrapping their hands around this. So this is my Kuiu Pro Bino Harness, and I'm gonna mount this knife right behind my rangefinder pouch, which you can see in just a second, so stay tuned. And about 5 minutes later, you can see that I've got it on my harness here, easily accessible where I need it to be, but not in the way of anything. I can shoulder a rifle just fine without it being in the way. Obviously, it's not going to impact my bow because I'm right-handed, so my bow will be on the other side. But it's basically going to hang out there. Doesn't really get in the way. Doesn't add too much bulk to the Bino harness. I might fiddle with it a little bit, but it more or less is where I would want it because I can get it with either hand if I need to, although primarily I would grab it with my right hand. I know somebody is going to ask how I did this, so I'll just show and tell now. I will clean this knot up a little bit for the sake of getting this all done. This afternoon, I just threw it in there quickly, but I basically just lashed it to the back with paracord, which I've done a number of times. And as long as you have a solid knot on the end, it doesn't go anywhere, but it gives you a really flexible way to, you know, use the eyelets and the loops that are the eyelets on the sheath and the loops that are built into the binocular or the rangefinder part here to really get a good grip on it and keep it stabilized, which is what matters quite a bit. So you can see it doesn't really, it'll move a little bit primarily because my chest isn't against it right now, but once it's on my body, it stays right where it's supposed to. So that is my overview of the Mark II. Really pleased with this knife. Thank you to Stroup for sending it to me for evaluation. And I know it's going to serve me well hunting both out west in Idaho and out east here for all the things I hunt. If you liked this video, please drop a comment and let me know what you did, or even if you didn't like it, you can tell me that too. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. It's how I know that the things that I am producing are actually interesting and relevant to you. And always happy to hear your feedback in the comments, whatever that might be. Thanks so much for watching.